Okay, let's go through this one a little bit more quickly. We can see first off that x squared is listed first. This tells me that this will be a horizontal hyperbola opening left and right. There are no values of h and k up on the numerator, so the center is located at the origin. Now the vertices are going to be left and right of the center, and beneath the x fraction, which controls left and right, I see a 25, which will square root to 5. So I know my vertices will be at -5, 0, and +5, 0. To find the foci, I'm going to find the sum of the two denominators. C squared will equal 25 plus 36. C squared then is equal to 61. C, the distance we move left and right, will be the square root of 61. That tells us the foci are going to be located at -√61, 0 and +√61, 0. Now, we haven't even drawn this yet, but we can figure out what the equations of the asymptotes will be. We're going to have y minus 0 equals m times x minus 0. There's our point-slope formula without the slope being put in. We know we got to figure out the slope of these lines, and we can look beneath the y fraction for our rise and the x fraction for our run. We're going to be rising up and down 6 and running 5. So our equations will be y equals plus or minus 6/5 x. Okay, now let's go through and graph this. It is going to be centered at the origin. We do know that we want to go left 5 and right 5, up 6 and down 6 to get to the key points through which we will draw this box. Sorry if my lines aren't perfectly straight here. We will then draw in the diagonals of that box. And remember that these are just guidelines. They're not on the curve itself. This is opening left and right, so I will highlight the points on the box that are left and right of center. Those will be our vertices. And then we will draw in our curve as best as we can to identify the look of this. Now, the foci are left and right the square root of 61, which is about 7.5-ish, left and right of center. So I will just estimate where I draw in those foci to help finish this curve off. Okay, let's do another one here. This time we see that y squared is listed first, and that tells us that this will be oriented such that it opens up and down. When we go to find the center, do not go to that y fraction first. Go to the x fraction. We will have -5, +4. The vertices will be above and below the center this time, which means to that 4 we will be adding and subtracting 6 because of the square root of 36, and that y fraction is 6. So let me just write down here, up and down 6, and that gives us -5, 10 and -5, -2. To find the foci, we will begin with c squared equals, and we will add our denominators together. So 36 plus 16 gives us c squared is equal to 52, and therefore c will be equal to plus or minus 2√13, because 4 times 13 is equal to 52. Now, judging from our picture, the foci will be above and below the center again, so I can use this information here along with our center to say that the foci will be located at -5, 4 plus or minus the 2√13. As far as the equations of the asymptotes go, again, y minus k is equal to plus or minus m times x minus h. There's our general equation. Instead of y minus k, we're going to write y minus 4. Over on the right, the x minus h will become x plus 5. Now we just need to figure out what the slopes are. So let's go back to our original equation. Beneath the y fraction, that 36 square roots to a 6, so we will be going up and down 6, and then we have 4 for left and right. So 6 over 4 will be the slope we're looking for, and 6 over 4, which I'll write in, can reduce to 3/2, so y minus 4 equals plus or minus 3/2 times x plus 5. I'm going to leave it in that form instead of converting it to slope-intercept form. Let's now draw the curve. We've already said that at -5, +4, we will have our center. We are going to be going up and down 6 units to get to the endpoints of our box. We will be going left and right 4 units from the center to get to the sides of our box. And from there, let's first sketch in this representative rectangle. And then we will draw in the diagonals of that box. And we said that this is going to open upward and downward, so our vertices will be on the box at the 2 points I've just darkened, and we can sketch in our curve to approach those asymptotes as we have there. We said that we're going up and down the square root of 52, which is a little bit more than 7. So a little bit more than 7 will be where we will go to draw in those foci.